It's so boring lately. I mean, at least the new Zelda demos out. Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. Um. Ah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video with me, Umber Rays. It's been a little bit quiet lately. Yeah, global Wotv has definitely had, some news that's been happening, and thank goodness, because the JP side for the last half of October was more than a little quiet, more than, just a little bit of nothing really happening. So it's been a little bit dry lately. But have no fear, because guess what? We have news finally on the JP side, and you're going to get probably a little bit excited, because this is some characters I think you've been waiting to hear about for some time now. That's right, we finally get to learn more about Final Fantasy 16 characters. Alright, no, not really. Although I have to say, legit, I am incredibly excited for Final Fantasy 16. I really do like Final Fantasy 14, even though I've been taking a bit of a break from it. So I'm really excited to see what 16 is going to look like. And of course, a new Final Fantasy getting added to the family is always an exciting moment. But with that being said, that's not what we're here to talk about. But I think all of you should go read up on the actual official Final Fantasy 16 website, because there's some character stuff and world details, which is pretty cool. And yeah. All right, so let's get right into it. So today we got some news dropped upon us, and I'm just going to click a little bit away so we can talk about what came yesterday first. So yesterday we did get this piece of in-game news that we were going to be getting a new side event on the JP side, which is going to be another side story, which is great. I've said many, many times before that I love the side stories. They're always self-contained, they add to the world, and they usually introduce some brand new characters. And as you can see in this infographic, we have 3 brand new characters here, 3 brand new characters that we've never seen before, which is really awesome. I love it when we do get just some like completely out of left field stuff. And so here we were thinking that this was going to be the banner, and it turns out not. Let's get right into it and show it. One new character who I believe Garble, or probably the English translation is Garble. They're trying with the names. And as you may note, there is a certain other character, Esharu, is finally going to be coming to the game as a playable character. I think she's pretty popular, at least on the JP side, and I think she's probably going to have some global fans too. But Miss Double 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 D's is also going to be coming to the game in the new JP side story event that will begin on November 1st at midnight. But let's take a step back and just roll back and talk about all the other news as well. So first of all, the guild battle map will be changing, as well as the friend battle map. The mine way is what it is. So I'm guessing it's like mines. This looks like it was from the previous month in terms of its graphics and design. It looks like, Larudo, our new fire fist fighter, it looks like his area that was from the previous month. But October was Halloween, and we got the spooky pumpkin maps, and I'm totally okay with this, because once again, this is a brand new map for this. So cool mines, interesting. I just want to say though, I think it would be really cool if like you could there were traps where you could actually like step on a switch and a minecart would go flying into your enemies. That would be kind of cool, actually. Make that happen. Traps and maps. That would be really interesting. All right, continuing on. There'll also be the book schedule that's getting just redone on the JP side. Something to note is it looks like the end of the month is going to have basically everything available. So that's good news for anybody who's looking for that. Beginning of the month, we will be having gloves, accessories, and swords for obvious reasons. So if you are looking forward to any of those, good time to farm. All right, and getting into the side story event, this event is called Incitement. It's actually like incitement person or person of incitement. But anyway, inciter. Anyway, the event will be held from November 1st and will go till November 13th. Basically, it's going to be running right until the anniversary, and that is not surprising, seeing that that was kind of what I thought. That's the kind of schedule we are on. So November 1st is on a Sunday, and then the Saturday of the 14th will probably be when anniversary will start on the JP side. So yeah, there you go. Continuing on, looking down, you'll be able to strengthen the new 2 characters, as well as obtain, your typical rewards that you would expect. And there will be a new EX quest as well. The EX quest, this time we are looking at the Gold Blade coming back, which by this point, if you haven't farmed it, you should be pretty well done farming it. Not just another chance to potentially end that. But we're also going to be getting a brand new glove as well, which is kind of interesting. The Dark Gloves for the brand new job type that we'll be talking about very shortly. So yeah, the 2 new weapon types are going to be what you will be farming from this side story. And the glove is going to be pretty essential because it's a magic-based glove, since the new, since Garble is essentially a magic-based character. This weapon's going to be essential for him. So if you're interested in him, just farm up the weapon now. Alright, but let's get into the stuff that people really want to know about. So we have brand new characters, and something you'll note right off the bat, both new characters are UR quality, meaning that they are both ultra rare. They are both 80 cost, so there is no double UR going on here, but this is pretty good bait right before the anniversary. And it should be noted that I think that anniversary is still potentially worth saving for a couple of reasons. One, there's probably going to be free stuff in anniversary, probably some good deals in anniversary, but getting these characters now, that might be, just worth it if you are interested in them. So scrolling down, let's take a look at Garble first. So Garble features a brand new class, and I do believe the name of it, if I can just, is Manipulator. Manipulator seems to be a similar type class to one that's featured in Taga. Manipulators have a special ability that basically from the start of a battle, they get enhanced stats. So I do believe this character gets enhanced magic, enhanced agility, enhanced dexterity, and I want to say that there's maybe one more stat that I'm forgetting, but he basically gets a power boost for the first 5 turns. But if you think about for Guild War, or if you think about for just, Arena, this character should be just really good. It's going to be interesting to see how far he actually does go in terms of his power, but getting a big boost at the start of the fight also means that this character could be just a really, really good farmer. Taking a look at his limit burst looks just pretty nice, straight line AoE. Something to note about it, large damage, and also can pierce through defenses and reduce some stats for a little bit. So he looking pretty good for his limit burst. Also to see his secondary ability, large damage as well, magic. So he is basically primarily a mage character, and what we can see from his mage, Manipulator is his main job. It is a brand new job, so it's kind of hard to evaluate, but it seems to be mental defense penetration, seems to be a little bit of stat reducing, but his big thing with this class seems to be that initial boost of power, so much so that they even advertise it. How often do you see a support ability advertised in a character's description? Not very often, so pretty interested. Secondary job is Orator, Oracle, Messenger, the same as Summer Ketone, as well as, I do believe, Halloween Leela also has this ability. I think it's on Global. I should check that name out and recite it 32 times so I can remember it. Anyway, Tertiary job is Red Mage. So what I'm looking at in terms of this character is that he is going to be really good right from the start. Also, Dark Element, he is on a pretty strong element with a lot of other good characters out there that can that will synergize particularly well with him. Also, it's going to be interesting to see where his attacks classify as, whether they are going to be considered magic or strike, and also how the weapon exactly fits into this. Because since the weapon is kind of unique, I assume that it's made specifically for him. So it'll be interesting to see whether he falls on the strike line or the magic line, like a magic strike kind of ability. Very, very interested in this character. Not only that, but Red Mage means that he has a pretty high AP start, and in terms of Messenger / Oracle, whatever you want to call this job, it is a pretty darn strong in terms of having some good support abilities for him, some strong attacks potentially, maybe some he'll even have some guaranteed hit abilities. But I gotta say that I'm particularly interested. Also, just really like the design. For anybody out there who played .hack GU, he actually reminds me a little bit of Aseo from that series. So that's always a thumbs up in my book, because I actually do quite like .hack. In terms of his ability, it's the same kind of ability that we've been seeing recently. Bonuses for certain types of characters off of his master ability, this time Shadow, so Shadow units will be getting a boost. Alright, but enough talking about him, let's talk about Esharu, which is basically her Japanese name, so I'm going to go with that. Alright, so let's get into it. Taking a look at Esharu, it's hard for me to evaluate her. First of all, Light Elemental, interesting starting point. Secondary, to take a look at her kit. First of all, the jobs. Nightblade is her primary job. This is, to my knowledge, a brand new class. So it'll be interesting to see what abilities she has total. Again, with both of these characters having 2 new jobs, super hard to completely evaluate them or know what's coming, but I'm expecting that this character is pretty popular, so this brand new job type should be pretty good. And with the new Halloween Exorcist card, again, that card is going to synergize incredibly well with this brand new character, because you're looking at / resistance ignore combined with potentially this is a great sword user, so that's just a strong combination. Secondary job, however, is Spellblade, and tertiary job is going to be the Dual Gunner. Now, this is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, Spellblade does give some other options. It could be that she has can double both as a light elemental mage, and while normally I wouldn't say that's incredibly exciting to me, the fact that characters such as Idira, Halloween Leela, and more importantly recently on the Japanese side, Sakura, all have holy elemental spells that could be potentially chained together, Esharu could just fit really nicely in there. So just a nice light elemental chain. In terms of the Dual Gunner's perspectives, if it has any defense penetration on that will be good enough to have that. It also could potentially have an increase in range, depending on what they want to give her, but interesting. I gotta say, I'm particularly very interested in this combination of jobs. Should also be noted at this point that taking a look at this character initially, there was one other character that really came to mind, which was Ramza. Ramza is primarily a physical main job with a magic secondary job and a third job that is basically kind of supports the rest of the kit, where Ramza has ninja, this girl has Dual Gunner. And honestly, I'm pretty interested to see. Ramza was and still is a character I really like and find incredibly useful even to date. So even though this is a little bit of a mixed kit, yeah, I think it's still going to be good. All right, taking a look at her Limit Burst. Limit Burst is going to, I don't know, for some reason, I'm just thinking it's going to be a dream one, because you see the little crayoned sun in the background, which is very cute. She's going to have a, pretty unique Limit Burst looking by Limit Burst does do big, large damage in a plus style hit, but also reduces her AP cost for multiple turns. So if you could use this pretty quickly at the start of the fight, she might just kind of be able to keep up that. Again, this will probably be another Bell's users, but this is Wotv, and everybody at this point should know that Ziza's TMR is the most valuable thing in the entire universe. Continuing on, she also has a really interesting ability. This is the one that I think is probably going to make this character insane, is a Drain Elemental Chaining ability. Yeah, you heard that right. So first of all, you'll note that this does have a couple of range on it. It's not just the unit has to be right in front of your character. You actually have some range. So if she gets some range from Dual Gunner, combine that with this ability, and she could potentially hit really hard from far away. Also, consider the fact that this is a chaining ability in one of the best chaining classes in the entire game. Sakura has a multi-hit ability, Ramza has a multi-hit ability, and Thancred has a multi-hit ability, and I'm really interested to see how this ability will scale. It is small damage, but if it's small damage with all the considerable amount of light chaining that is available, is this girl just going to heal for a billion? I don't know, but I'm super interested to find out. Either way, this ability could just be really good. Again, with slash resistance ignore from the Exorcist ability, as well as just the amount of support that Slash does kind of just have, I do think that this ability could be incredibly dangerous and incredibly powerful. But the fact that it is elemental in a elemental group that has really good chaining, I think is insane. And last but not least, I was so excited I kind of forgot what I wanted to really say about this one. So just give me 1 second to double check and pretend that I just remembered this, but I really want to check. Music's nice though. Ah, okay, that was it. I couldn't remember what the added effect was, because it's like, oh, it's a medium damage. Oh, why is it a medium damage? Ah, figured it out. So, damage to targets within range, so or not a multi-hit ability, but AoE hit ability in the plus style, that can also reduce healing power. So Esharu, not only does she have self-healing for herself, but she also has a ability that can reduce healing just in the same way that Kain can. So Esharu is looking to be a really good unit. Not only that, she again has this kind of increase ability. Should be noted that it does, from a special note that I see here, that these abilities do not overlap, meaning that if you have Sakura currently combined with Esharu, you're not getting a stacking effect of these master abilities. It's only the highest one that will be counted, so please keep that in mind. Other than that, there'll be the daily hard quest for 50 shards. Both of these are not limited characters, meaning that you will be able to just slow farm these characters up over time. There's no mention of their trust masteries, but there's enough here to kind of dig into at this point that I'm not feeling super worried about the rest of the details at this point. Gotta save something for later. But if I'm to say overall, this is pretty darn good way to start a lead into an anniversary. We have two brand new characters being added to the game, both UR quality, one light, one dark, and each with a brand new job that is coming with some exciting new interesting abilities. Now, before anniversary, obviously, there's a lot to unpack. The fact that we could see a brand new UR, there's probably going to be some brand new super summon, and last but not least, I'm still expecting a collaboration, which means that it's super hard to recommend these characters just going all in at this point. I think that for my JP players, save, or at least wait until my review video to find out whether these characters are bananas and nuts. But either way, Esharu seems like she'll be an incredibly strong character and really rounds out the idea that the Exorcist card was probably a good investment. But that healing chain ability is so juicy, I just can't ignore it. However, personally for me, if I'm just going on my own opinions, I'm super excited for Garble because of a couple things. I'm really interested to see where his damage type lies. I'm really interested to see how his kit works. And I'm also interested to see how this 5-turn boost thing works, since it seems like a lot of fights don't go that long. So this is an interesting kind of little burst damage character that I think could be just really, really fun. And he's kind of slotting more into the fact that lately I've just been so enamored with mages and mage cards that this might be just a sign. But either way, both of these characters really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing the final details when it comes out after Halloween ends. So, tell me, are you guys interested in either of these brand new characters? Are you interested in Garble more? Do you think Esharu is better? And why do you think so? Try and elaborate a little bit. So yeah, a lot of news, but honestly, after having nothing to talk about for a week and a half with the return of the point event, which was not super exciting, and the wave event that ended up with nerfed rewards, as the Gordon Ramsay memes goes, finally some delicious food. Yeah. We'll see what Anniversary also has, but hey, just a friendly reminder, Final Fantasy 16 is coming, and eventually it's a collaboration I'll probably have to go for. Anyway, alright, thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you next time.